Hello, this is Daniel Mart, and today I'm going to be doing another review. This time around, I'm going to be doing a review for Paul Walker's last movie ever, Furious 7. So yeah, this movie stars Paul Walker, Vin Diesel, Jason Statham, Michelle Rodriguez, Jordana Brewster, Tyrese Gibson, Ludacris, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, Lucas Black, um, Nath- Nathaniel, not I don't know, Nathalie Emmanuel, Kurt Russell, Elsa Patkins, Gal Gadot or Gadot. I've heard it both ways. Luke Evans, Brotherton, Iggy Azalea, apparently in a really minor role. Romeo Santos again in a really minor role. And apparently both of those are their film debut. Housen, I believe is how you say his name. Noel Guglielmi. And by the way, that guy, Noel Guglielmi, for those who don't know, he was actually in The Walking Dead season 1. If I do say, gonna say it very fast. He was in The Walking Dead very fast. He was Felipe, and he was in the Battles episode. Um, and Ali Fazell, and Sung Kang, and Ronda Rousey. And yeah, that's basically it for the cast. Paul Walker. So yeah, before I begin, no 10-second spoiler warning as usual for those that get to actually watch the movie and haven't already. Stop the video, go check it out, and come back and watch the rest of this review. 10-second spoiler warning as usual, starting now. I want to show you guys. There's something I need to show you guys at the end of the video. But I need to get my phone. So yeah, it should be charging here. Yeah. Sorry about that. It's just for the end of the video. So yeah, that's about 20 seconds. So yeah, for those who have yet to actually not watched the movie and haven't already, please don't comment down below. Be messaging me. That never gave you a fair one, because as usual, I did. So as usual, quick synopsis, likes and dislikes, and then the rate. So yeah, basically this movie follows up with the previous movie, if I'm not mistaken. Basically you have Han Solo. Basically that's his name, Han Solo, whatever. After he's murdered by Deckard Shaw. Deckard Shaw is he basically wants revenge for his brother's death. Owen Shaw, right? That's his name. He basically wants revenge for the death of his brother. He's going after Toretto and his friends and family, which Toretto says it's everybody's his family. So yeah, so now you have Toretto and the group, and they're picked up by Kurt Russell. He's basically like a FBI agent or some kind of government official, and he says that in order to capture Shaw, we need to get the all-seeing eye. Thing is that we need to get the person who created it, which is Ramsey, portrayed by Nathalie. I don't know. It's maybe Natalie. I think that's how you pronounce it now. I don't know, because it's just spelled really weird in my opinion. Yeah, it's just weird. It's spelled really weird here. Maybe Natalie. I don't know. I've never seen it being spelled like that. Or maybe Nathalie. Whatever. Aside from the point, Emmanuel, she portrays Ramsey, and they now Toretto and his group need to get Ramsey and have the RC9 function in order to get Shaw. And was this a great send off for Paul Walker? Hell yeah. A perfect send off for Paul Walker. I mean, yeah. Okay, the acting and the writing is your typical Fast and Furious writing. It's not gonna be Oscar worthy for sure, or it's never gonna be Oscar worthy. But it's just your dumb. Again, the Fast and Furious are just a bunch of dumb, fun action movies at its core. All of them, even the first two, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, now the seventh, they're all just a bunch of dumb action movies, and that's really what it is. Now, what's really interesting is the director, James Wan. He's mostly directed horror films. such as Insidious, I believe, and Conjuring, if I'm not mistaken. So it's pretty interesting to see him. He also did Saw. So it's also pretty interesting to see him take on an action film. And I thought he did pretty well in the as a director. I thought he did a pretty good job for directing it. It was actually very well done in my opinion. You have these incredible action scenes from the trailers. In the trailers, you saw the action scenes with the cars flying out of the planes, or the cars jumping through one building to another. There's way more to all those action scenes. When I saw the 2-minute clip of the one in the planes, that's like maybe 10% of what happens. That scene takes about 15 minutes to play out. Most of the action scenes take about at least a good 20 minutes for the whole story. It's basically there's a lot of action scenes through here. In my opinion, it's just very fun. And yes, there's almost like no logic behind them at times. Physically, also, yeah. I mean, you have this one part where you have Hobbs, the Rock, and he basically jumps out of a building from like 6 stories up and lands on a car, and technically, and from leaving a grenade explosion, he technically should have been dead, or he's critically injured. But no, he's basically fine. He just has a cast wound here, and he basically has a broken arm, and he's basically at the hospital chilling. So yeah, now Hobbs, the character of Hobbs and The Rock in the movie, I do think he was a bit underused. It was about in the whole movie, he was about there for 10 or 15 minutes. So yeah, but overall, it's a pretty fun movie. I mean, you could, if you want, you can nitpick the hell out of this movie if you really want to. If you really wanted to, you could nitpick the hell out of this movie. Even point out when Paul Walker, which scenes contained Paul Walker and which scenes had his brothers or stunt double. You could probably do that, but it's like, whatever. The plot is a bit convoluted at times, but I want to believe that that's because due to the fact that Paul Walker died during production, that they kind of had to rewrite some of the stuff. So I'm not gonna really fault it that much when it comes to plot wise, because I'm pretty sure there are a lot of issues that happened once Paul Walker died. I mean, Jason Statham, he was actually a pretty good villain, a bit underused at times in my opinion, but overall, it was a pretty great movie, really well sent off. And at the end of the movie, let me show you, which is the reason I got my phone. Let me show you they had a montage, about 2-minute montage, for Paul Walker, spanning from the first movie to the latest movie, which is actually the 6th, from the first one to the 6th one, and I think they had at least 2 or 3 scenes from the 7th one at the end, and a white background and black letters. And I was sitting in the corner, mind you. They had this. I don't know if you guys could see it properly, but it says for Paul. So I thought that was really sweet, really endearing. If you guys really want to see the image, just go on my Instagram, Daniel Mart. I'll post it later. I actually haven't posted it yet, but I'll post it soon. So you guys could get a better idea, or just search it up online. But I thought that was pretty neat that they had for Paul on the thing. I mean, yeah, I mean the guy was an incredible guy. Thank God that Brick Mansion wasn't the last film he ever did, because I heard that was a piece of shit. And I don't know. The trailer seemed for Brick Mansion. The trailer seems decent. I don't know. Haven't seen it yet. I want to see it soon. So yeah. Oh shit. Sorry. Should probably cut that before I get trolls. So yeah. The one thing also that I found very funny throughout the whole movie is that, like, after every single action scene or big action scene, everybody in the audience, because it was almost a full house, everybody in the audience was just clapping, and I was clapping alongside it, because it's one of those movies where you kind of need to respect it. You know what they're going for. It is the last film, and it's one of those few films where it's not just a film, it's more of an experience when you think about it. It's more of an experience because you're experiencing, because, Paul Walker, he died obviously, and the thing, aside from the plot, which is, them trying to get the all-seeing, all the God's eye program to work so they could find Jason Statham. The major subplot is having a proper send off to Paul Walker, and I think, and his character Brian O'Connor, and I think they did an incredible job, and I think they gave him a worthy send off for Paul Walker, and I really did like it in my opinion. The last scene, that one was obviously with one of his brothers or a stunt double. You have Vin Diesel and Paul Walker. They meet each other at an intersection, and they kind of look at each other. Have one last drag race kind of, and they kind of just split off in different roads. So that's the last we're ever gonna see of Brian O'Connor. What can be said about this movie? It does have its faults. I will admit it does have its faults. But at the end, it's just a dumb action movie that really at the end, that's all I really want. A good, fun action movie. It does have a lot of faults. You could nitpick it if you want. You could nitpick it to nothing if you really want. And I will admit, it does have faults. In my opinion, you know, Hobbs really underused. The last action scene, the last action scene for God's sakes took like a half hour of the whole movie, or it felt like it took a half hour. I feel like the last action scene could have been cut down by a bit, but overall, really well made movie, really great movie. I really love how they sent off Paul Walker's character. That's really the one thing we all wanted to see. How are they gonna send off Paul Walker? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best, and 6 being decent, I give it a 9 out of 10. Great, fantastic movie. Yeah. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. I do movie reviews, TV show reviews, and comic book reviews. Comment down below on your thoughts on the movie. Have you seen it? And if not, why not? And if you have, what are your thoughts on it? Like the video, share on Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, or whatever you guys prefer. And that's basically it for now. This is Daniel Mart signing off.